Well, what's up guys, it is Cod, and today I'm going to be bringing you some STG gameplay on the Ardennes Fortress. I don't think I brought you guys a gameplay yet on this map. I was going to start out sniping and then I decided to switch to the STG, which was a very smart decision. Playing some hardpoint, something I haven't played quite a lot of, but I do enjoy it. Had a pretty decent gameplay. I had a teammate who just went completely off. He went like 40 plus kills. I think he almost hit the 50 bomb. My first start here I didn't do so well, but that's alright. I ended up getting into a really good rhythm and having a really good game after I got all the kinks out. But again, I'm using that site I talked about in my last video, the lens site. It's a very awesome site. I definitely recommend using it. It's pretty accurate. There's another site, I can't remember what it's called, but it's a little bit better, at least for assault rifles long range. But this is definitely my favorite site right now to use, and I hope it stays that way once the game actually comes out and is released fully. Because I honestly just like the way it looks. It looks so clean and it's pretty accurate. There isn't a lot of weapon recoil, so I kind of want to get into the STG. The class setup I'm using, all I have on right now at this point is actually the lens sight. I wanted to try it with grip, and I wanted to try it with quick draw, and I also wanted to try it with hollow point, but I haven't gotten the chance yet to do that. I did pick up one though that had hollow point on it, and the headshots, if you go for headshots, it just completely melts. And I mean that's in general, it's going to melt with headshots anyway because it's an assault rifle, especially if you're within the range that it's supposed to be at. But it just melts even more with high caliber, which if you're somebody who's a pretty accurate player, pretty good at going for headshots, or pretty good at aiming at people who like to camp and do head glitches, definitely recommend maybe putting high caliber on here. It does, I think, make it a little bit more recoil, but I can't know that for sure just because I haven't played around with it enough to tell the difference. But it definitely, this lens sight is definitely the sight that I think I'm going to be using from now on, at least for very fast-paced gameplay. I mean, even there, that was like a mid-range kill, I would say, and you just saw how accurate it is. I mean, this thing is a laser, and it definitely sounds amazing too. That's one thing I want to point out, is it just sounds meaty, it sounds good, it sounds buff as fuck. So this has been really fun so far. I mean, it's only what, day 2 now of the beta, and I've just been having fun going out there and playing and having a good old time. I was worried that this game was going to end up being a lot like World at War, and honestly I feel like they are completely different games, even though they are both World War II. Just the feel in general, this just feels, honestly I like this better. I like the feel of this better. I like the fact that they brought gore back. It's not as much as it was in like World at War, but I'm definitely seeing a lot more blood splatter and stuff like that, especially during like explosions, and when you're getting people killed with like a flamethrower and stuff. It's so awesome that they went back to World War II and they brought in, you know, a lot of the gore that, you know, they would have to bring in to make it like a true World War game, because you know, World War II was extremely graphic. I mean, it was a real war. You know, lots of people died, lots of things happened, lots of horrible things. But I don't want to focus on that. I want to focus on this. So with this hardpoint, I really like hardpoint. I think this is a game type I'm really going to get into once the game is fully released. I've tried playing, you know, like domination and stuff like that, and it's honestly, I mean, domination will always be the same. Hardpoint's been out for a while. I mean, that's been a thing for a while, but it seems different because it uses maps differently than, you know, domination does. There's some maps, look at that triple feed, that was so fun. But I feel like hardpoint really uses maps differently than, let's say, domination does, because domination is pretty set in stone. You know, you're gonna have a C flag, an A flag, and a B flag. I said that in a weird order, but they're all gonna be, you know, spread out through the map one way or the other, where, you know, you got your B flag in the middle, A in one spot, and C in the other spot. So, you know, it's all, you know, meeting in the middle to get that B flag that everybody wants to capture and all that. So it's never going to be too different. Whereas, you know, hardpoint, you have to play the whole map in hardpoint. There's some people, when they play domination, they just, you know, they play one side of the map or they play one position and whatever. Whereas hardpoint, you know, you got to use the whole map to your advantage. You got to go around, you got to get kills, you got to know different spots, everything like that. So that's my appeal to hardpoint, I guess. That's why I've been really enjoying it. But as you can see, dude, this is just a laser. There's not a lot of recoil. It kills pretty fast. That's one thing I've noticed in this game, is that the time to kill is extremely fast, especially when I was like sniping. I noticed I got taken out quite a bit by people and I would just die so fast. So that's one thing I don't know if I like it 100%, because especially sniping wise. There's not a lot of time to react. There was a mistake. I probably should have just waited. He probably would have ran right by me again and everything, or I could have repositioned back further. But these maps, I'm starting to get used to them. The maps are not my favorite, honestly, out of Call of Duty. I don't know. Of course, they're going to have more maps than what's out now. They're probably not giving us the best maps they have. I think that would be kind of ridiculous if they did. But the maps right now, I don't really like 100%. This is probably the most balanced map, in my opinion, that they've put out so far. Some of the other maps, it seems like one side ends up having more of, you know, places for people to hide, or one side of the map has a high ground advantage where people are just coming down and shooting at you. Now in the war mode, I don't really care so much because, you know, they're defending. They need to have the advantage. It needs to be hard. Kills, your KD doesn't really matter when it comes to war because you're just trying to get through the objective, and there's no kill objective. It's not like, oh, you guys have to get X amount of kills in X amount of time before you can move the point or anything like that. So it's literally just, you know, going in and trying to get the objective, whether that's capturing the point, building the bridge, moving the payload, planting a bomb. I mean, it literally has everything, and so war mode is just pretty awesome. But one thing I've noticed I haven't been able to do is I haven't been able to do like a successful bayonet charge, and part of that I wonder is it doesn't really, you don't move that fast when you do a bayonet charge. And I honestly thought you'd run maybe a little bit faster. It'd be a little bit harder for people to kill you, like it'd do more of a momentum boost or a mobility boost, so that way people really had trouble getting you, and it just doesn't do that. All it really does to me, in my opinion, is make your screen go blurry and make your guy yell, which kind of gives away your position. So, but I get that. A bayonet charge, you know, in World War II when people did bayonet charges, I mean, you yelled. It's a mental scare factor into the other soldiers that you're going against mind, I guess. But in video games, it's more just a way for people to know where you're at, I guess. And so that's one thing I didn't really like so far, trying to get a bayonet charge. I haven't been able to do it or anything like that. Another thing is the kill feed moves fast. I've talked about this before. That's something that's really starting to bother me because I really wish I could hit a quad feed with a sniper, but that's probably not going to happen in this beta unless I get lucky enough to get like a collateral or something like that, which I've actually gotten 2 collaterals, not triples, but collaterals, and one was just 2 body shots and the other one was a double headshot, so I was pretty happy about that. There was also a point where I probably should have had a triple, and for some reason I got 1 out of the 3, and that really pissed me off. Like, they were all lined up perfectly. Now it was like not a complete scoped in, so maybe that's part of it, but definitely should have had the triple, which kind of pissed me off. And I might show that gameplay at some point, I don't know. I'm saving right now, I'm saving literally like every second of every game that I can, because I'm going to use these videos over the next couple months whenever I talk about World War II. But STG, definitely the best rifle we've gotten. I've used the other ones. I don't really like them as much. The first one that you get, I don't even know what it's called. I used it for like 1 game and was like, wow, I really do not like this gun. A lot of people are saying it's a good gun though once you can get it leveled up and stuff, so I might try to get it leveled up, try to use some different sights on it and stuff like that to just try to see what I can do. But I honestly don't like it. I really do like the STG. That's probably going to be my rifle of choice. The M1 Garand, I think I'm going to try that out a little bit at some point, but haven't really gotten around to using it a lot, so I don't really like it without a sight on it. That's one thing I remember. Even in World at War, I like putting a sight on it. I think in World at War I actually there was a telescopic sight, so you could make it into pretty much an M21 from like Call of Duty 4 or something. So that's a sight I used to use with it, and it's so cheap, and I know that if we have that ability, which I think we do, we have the ACOG version of a sniper scope that we can put on it. So I think that's really going to start pissing some people off if we start using that and everything, because it's definitely going to be an overpowered gun, I think, because being semi-automatic, we all know how that works in Call of Duty. They always give it a damage buff, and when people have a good trigger finger, it can even be dangerous up close. My trigger finger isn't the best, so you know, I try to stay at medium to long range, like I do with most rifles. I think I don't really get in too close. The STG is kind of an exception because it is automatic, but it will get beat out by SMGs almost every single time, as long as, you know, they have decent aim. And, you know, if you're shooting an SMG close range against an assault rifle, you're going to get more bullets off, and even though the damage isn't as much, it doesn't even equal out because it just shoots so fast and it's close range, so they're doing their max damage, and honestly, rifles just aren't good close range. So this map, though, is probably my favorite map I've played so far. I think mine goes this, the war map, Gibraltar, and then Point Du Hoc. I love Point Du Hoc for shotguns and SMGs, but overall I don't like it. It's a fun map and all, but it's just it's too close quarters for me in a lot of situations, and yeah, that's just one thing. We got the win here. I think some Jehovah guy or whatever. Yeah, I am Jehovah. I don't know if he's a YouTuber. I thought he was, but he got the bronze star. Lucky him. He's really good. He was going off this match. So there we go. He gets his kills, does a good job, everything like that. We got the win. What did I go? I don't even remember what I went. I went 33 and 18. So that's not horrible. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and comment. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.